Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. Just off camera is my wife, my everything, my Pookie, Jessica Lee, running all things chat. And we are going to, that was good. We are going to have some real fun tonight talking about, well, I want to talk Napoleon Hill. I want to talk Neville Goddard. I want to talk Emile QA. I want to talk about the law of attraction, maybe in a way you haven't heard it before. So if you've been struggling with the law of attraction, you've done all of the different techniques that you've heard of, and yet things still aren't coming into your life, then you may not have been playing with the tips and tools, basically the tricks, going to teach you this evening. So Jessica and I have been doing some law of attraction mastery for the new year. We've been very busy at this over the last almost 2 weeks right now. I guess we're very anxious to round the bend from 2020, as everybody else is, probably everybody else, into 2021. And we've been spending time in the day and particularly early morning hours and late in the evening. These times where we're closest to what we call the other side of the veil, in a state of hypnagogia, which we're going to be talking about tonight. We have been working on some powerful manifestation. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Before we do that, we have our automatic writing book coming out in just a few weeks now. You can get it already. Well, you can pre-order it on Amazon. We're sure the first run's going to run out. Actually, they showed out very briefly about 2 weeks ago. Back in stock right now. It's called the automatic writing experience, or how you can get on the other side of the veil and start writing to, through, and from spirit, and hear profound words of wisdom and have a discourse with the universe. Where am I going? What am I doing? How do I attract things into my life? And literally be speaking with your spirits, with your guides, or if you're agnostic or no religion at all, perfect. On speaking with your inner wisdom, that part of you that has all of the answers. If only you would listen. So you can get that on Amazon right now. It's called the Automatic Writing Experience. If you want to learn the Automatic Writing Experience well in advance of the book coming out, you can actually learn it. We have a video-based program of which we're teaching a live class in just a week and a half. So perfect timing to get signed up for that. You simply go to automaticwriting.com and you can sign up for that as well. With all the tools that I'm going to teach you here tonight, everything is amplified when you bring it to when you bring it to your automatic writing, which you can do first thing in the morning, you can do last thing at night. And whenever you do your automatic writing, what it does is help you get on the other side of the veil. All right, so let's talk Napoleon Hill first. I'm not sure yet because I'm very selective on my coaching clients. I may have one spot left for the new year. I don't know yet. I've had a lot of people who have signed up for free strategy sessions with me. If you're super serious about changing your life for the new year. If you've like, I've had it, that's it. I've watched one video too many. I need to make the change now. I can't go another day, week, month, year without changing. Then I would love to talk with you. You can sign up for a free strategy session with me at inspirenationshow.com. Oh, Jessica is off camera. We have a new link. Very, very cool. Very cool. So Jessica's putting the link in the chat room so you can follow that link, which I'm guessing we will also have in the, I don't know if you call it show notes, the text beneath the video as well. So if you're watching this afterwards and you're wondering where it is, we will have the link there as well. All right, let's talk Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill is one of my all-time favorites. And the reason is he actually practiced automatic writing himself, but he was a journalist who was commissioned or charged with learning from, I believe it was 1,000 of the nation's wealthiest and most successful individuals about 100 years ago. And he found out the secret, many secrets of what these people did well and what worked. One of the number one things he found is that people set a goal and they burned this vision into their hearts. It's something I call the SMP, or your single-minded purpose. They say it is exceptionally hard to achieve a goal if you don't know where you're going. Now, I don't want to scare you away here. If you don't know what your goal is, make your goal, finding your goal. All is not lost if you don't know which direction to turn. Because again, as I was saying about coaching, if you make that more important than oxygen, if your single-minded purpose each day when you get up is, I'm going to figure out what I'm in alignment with and where I want to go in life, you will find it. If, on the other hand, you go, I don't know what my goal is, so I don't know what to do, and you're kind of wishy-washy and vacillate, you will find that too. For Napoleon Hill found that wherever people put their attention is what they achieved. We've all heard it before. If you put your attention on a state of lack, what are you going to bring about? More lack. If you put your attention on a state of dis-ease, and you're speaking to someone, I run small mountains. Usually it's big mountains, but I'm by Joshua Tree right now. It's small mountains. I have twin titanium femurs, twin titanium hips. I run like the wind because I have put my attention, you can do it too, on what I can do, what I want to do, where I want to go, not on why it won't work, on what doctor said it's not possible. Where you put your attention is incredibly important. So he was looking at these, we'll call them masters. People have mastered finances, have mastered their business world, have mastered success in at least one area of their life. Because we can't say if they were balanced in all areas. We all know of individuals incredibly out of balance, many of them deliberately so that they could achieve a big, fat, hairy goal. All right. What Napoleon Hill found is that when people had an SMP, they had a single-minded purpose, and they wrote it down and focused on it, they couldn't help but bring it about. You can ask any of the millionaires or near billionaires. I'm not sure if there were any billionaires 100 years ago, but you could ask them, what is the one thing you're fired up for? And they knew. So what he suggested in his book, Think and Grow Rich, and I absolutely love the book. And do we need to address rich? Don't be scared by the term rich. Embody the term rich. I won't go there fully tonight unless it's a question that comes up at the end, but you can be spiritual and you can be exceptionally rich. In fact, the riches that you have, you can use to move mountains and help the world. So in his book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about writing down your top goals. It just popped into my head. Another brilliant book is Definite Chief Aim by Mitch Horowitz. Can't recommend it enough. And Mitch also talks about Napoleon Hill and talks about having a definite chief aim. In Napoleon Hill, he talked about writing down this definite chief aim, what I call the single-minded purpose, on a piece of paper or an index card, and reading it multiple times a day. Got it, check. You read it over, you know what your goal is, you know where you're going, you know what's important to you. I say, because I'm an alchemist, it means I like playing with energy. I like transforming energy into matter. You're an alchemist too. The minute you have a thought, I'm hungry, and you go in your fridge and you pull something out, you've turned energy, hunger, into matter, food coming out of the fridge. Is it as simple as that? Yes, it is. And so, because I like playing with energy, and that's really what we're talking about here tonight. We're talking about the missing element of the law of attraction is energy. I know you watch the law of attraction, you watch The Secret, you feel the person holding the steering wheels going down the wheel. That's great. But we've got to take it to a next level. What's the emotional state and getting that cranked up? Going back to Napoleon Hill, that comes from rewriting your definite chief aim, your single-minded purpose, each and every day, if not twice a day. So if you say, Michael, you know all these techniques, do you do this on a daily basis? Oh, you betcha. I have a technique in our automatic writing course called the Woohoo 8, where I write down my chief goals in 8 areas, and then I bring them together as one. For simplicity's sake, just get that one down now. Write it out each day. Write it out multiple times a day. Write it out with Technicolor if you can. Oh, do I have my mind map here? I have my mind map. And I'm not sure I have my colored Sharpies, but toward the end, I will pull out my colored Sharpies. Play with it in as much detail as you can. Bring as much heart, bring as much life, bring as much excitement to your single-minded purpose, or that definite chief aim, each and every time you write it out. Now, why am I saying write it out multiple times a day rather than reading it multiple times a day? Because there is an energy in the physical act of writing it down. It is like creating out of thin air. In fact, you're becoming an alchemist. You're putting ink on the page. You're creating something sacred. So now that's Napoleon Hill. And we're going to potentially dive a little back more into Napoleon Hill in just a little bit. But if you remember one thing from Napoleon Hill, it's to write out that goal. That overarching goal. Again, if you don't know what it is, the goal can be to find your goal, to find out where you're in alignment. Let me relieve you of some of the pressure here, though, which is 2020 happens. What does that mean, 2020 happens? It means life is going to derail you. Life is going to redirect you. Life is going to change your course. And what you thought may have been, oh, I want to become an actor. I want to become an actor. I want to become an actor. That didn't work. And you go, wow. 2 choices at those times. You can go over, under, through, around if an actor is absolutely what you want to be in life. Or you can say, wow, why was I stopped dead cold in my tracks? Maybe it was because I was supposed to use these oratory skills as a podcaster, as a vlogger, as a speaker. So we set that goal and do not worry or be afraid if that goal changes. I know that's hard to get at first. So you're saying, Michael, focus on a goal with everything I've got and be open for that goal to change? Yes, absolutely. Because we do not know best. We have an amazing, thriving business here, growing stronger each and every day. And we are changing the world in some small way. But with you, working with you, we're changing it maybe in a bigger way. This is an amazing business, Inspire Nation. But it didn't start as Inspire Nation. It started as a barefoot running company, which started before that as a coaching company. We went from coaching, many different iterations of that, to barefoot running, to writing a barefoot running book, to 5.5 years ago, finding our sweet spot with Inspire Nation. And we can't say it won't change from here. Now, we have an overarching mission: shift humanity, elevate consciousness, raise people's vibrations. We have that, which is an overarching goal. But when you say, I want to build this, I want to build this, I want to build this, at the same time, we're saying, universe, we're open. If you have a different plan or path, I'm okay with this. This doesn't mean continuously jumping ship. It means being awake and aware of all of the possibilities that come to you. So number one, get it down. Get down your SMP. Number two, feel it with everything that you've got. Each and every morning, Jessica and I are up at the crack of dawn. We're doing prayers, we're doing statements, we're putting ourselves in the feeling state, we're putting ourselves in a half awake state. We'll talk more about that in a minute, called the hypnagogic state. We're using theta brain entrainment music. What are we doing? We're getting ourselves in the emotional state, the Neville Goddard state. If you learn one thing about Neville Goddard tonight, it is your emotional state trumps everything. We're getting ourselves in the emotional state of, we got this. Not we got this, confident we can make this happen. Meaning, it's already here. So we're in Joshua Tree this winter. It's beautiful here. But I must admit, the longer we are here, the more I want greenery. The more I want snow again. The more I want some level of moisture and being able to paddle and swim and canoe and kayak. Perfect. Because right now I get to run my legs off and I get to ride my legs off. And I've got a beaming ear to ear grin as I go out and explore everywhere that there is to explore here. But I have this vision for a long-term home, retreat center, farm, place for Ruru, place for animals, place for the squirrels, place maybe for rescue animals, place for us, place to raise our future baby Hana. I can envision it so clearly. I come driving up the driveway. I can see it. I go this morning walking down the road with Ruru, and it's a sandy road. It's amazing out here. And I see snow. I go looking at a distant mountain, and it is, well, at some point in the winter, it might be snow-capped. It is completely filled with snow. And I'm like, wow, 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 wow. I'm not just envisioning it with my mind's eye. I am feeling it as if it already exists. So let's go back to The Secret. And in The Secret, the guy's in his living room chair, and he's vroom, vroom. He's behind the wheel of his car. And he feels the steering wheel, and he feels himself shifting, and feels himself driving around. Let's take this 1 or 10 steps further. First, you can go eyes, ears, nose, throat, the works. We can go, how does it smell when you're driving? How does it taste? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What am I seeing? But let's go beyond that. What are your emotions you're experiencing? Let me ask you right now, if you have a goal, how would it feel if you've already achieved that goal? Woohoo! What would it feel like to you? I have an alarm going off repeatedly throughout the day, reminding myself to put myself back in that feeling state. Maybe that's what it would feel like. Relief, or woohoo, or yes, or simply strong, or at such peace. When you link the key emotions to what you want and what you desire, if it's in alignment with your highest good, you become unstoppable. So we get to go to that state. That's what Neville Goddard talks about. When he's talking about visualization, he's not talking about just seeing it. He's talking about feeling it on the deepest core level. So I don't just see mountains with snow. I feel what that feels like. I don't just see my driveway covered in snow instead of sand. I feel myself skiing down. I can feel my heart going fast. I can take in that crisp, clean, cool mountain air. Oh my God, it's so amazing. It's so incredible. Woohoo! This is the reason license plate says woohoo 8, because that woohoo state, whatever that means to you, is the state of creation. That is the blessed, sacred state where all things are possible. Again, Michael, I don't know what my goal is. Perfect. Can you imagine how great it will feel when you go, this is it? This is what I'm meant to do. This is where I go in life. This is the next step. How would that make you feel? And then don't just feel it. Write it down so you can come back to it anytime you want. Go to the feeling state. Again, bringing it back to Napoleon Hill. Let's write down that single-minded purpose. Pokey, can I trouble you for a marker by chance? Write down that single-minded purpose. But then get down your emotional state behind it. And Jessica has gone to get me some markers. We will play with this in a minute. Go to that state. Wow. Let's play with this for a minute. All right. So let's say that your goal is, and a numerical goal sometimes is a good thing. I mean, having a goal, whether it's, $1 million more for your business this year, 10 million more, whatever it is, that is a great place to go. But can you be even more detailed about it? I want to bring in $1 million more for my business. So we're going to let's bring in, sure. The goal is to bring in 1 million more this year. But why? Is it you want to grow your business to help others? Is it you want peace of mind? Is it that you want to be able to step back? You want to be able to relax? Is it there's a big investment you want to make, or some capital that you wish to purchase? What is it? I want to bring in $1 million plus more so that I can, I don't know, we'll say reach 1 million people. Cool. So each day or twice a day, you get down your goal. Very, very cool. Now, any idea what you want to do it? You can write down all the different things. You could write down, Netflix. You could put down programs, whatever it is. But that's not actually what this exercise is about. Not bad to get them down. That's another exercise. But I want you to get, okay, we've reached 1 million people. How do you feel? I feel elated. I feel on top of the world. Or I feel, oh my God, thank God we brought in $1 million more. Peaceful. Or renewed. Or at ease. Or accomplished. So you start to get down all of the different emotions that you will feel when you reach your goal. You could just as easily, instead of saying reach 1 million people and reach 1 million plus people and reach 1 million, it could be the goal is simply to find my life's direction. So you write that down. Maybe if you find your life direction, you'll feel elated, on top of the world, peaceful, accomplished, at ease, and renewed. You see how this is working here? You go to the emotional state. Let's say that we get the most amazing mountain home, and I'm sure we will, probably March, April this year. Let's say that you get down mountain home. All right, that looked like mountains. Now it looks like Pac-Man with a bad hairdo. And so you get down your mountain home. How would it feel if you had a mountain home? You would feel, oh, I don't know why, glorious. I would feel peace. You can see where I'm going again. You start to get down your emotions. All right, that's Neville Goddard. Now let's take this to the next level. Because I was talking to you guys earlier about a very fancy word called hypnagogia. What in the world is hypnagogia? In a sense, it's daydreaming. But maybe it's even more powerful than that. Or maybe, just maybe, teachers had it wrong. And daydreaming is what it's all about. I can't tell you the number of times I got in trouble in school for staring out a window and picturing myself riding my bicycle. In fact, I can remember my first few years in high school staring out the window just about every single day, wondering where I was going to ride my bike that afternoon. Guess what happened? I'd leave school, I'd go home, I'd turn thought into matter, I'd get on my bicycle, I'd go for a training session, and I raced in Europe. I became a professional. So my daydreaming actually helped bring things into reality. There's a power behind it. Why is there a power behind daydreaming, particularly if you're drifting off? Because drifting off is the greatest tool in the world. I'll repeat that. Drifting off in a daydreamy state is the greatest gift in the world because you now have the power of the shaman. You are now, in the shamanic terms, they call it the underworld. You are accessing dream time, as the Aboriginals call it, dream world, dream state. Carl Jung, the waking world is the dream world is the waking world. You are crossing over to another realm where dreams are fully possible, and you are bringing them back here. I can think of no better example of this than, oh wow, his name has just slipped my mind. Salvador Dali. There we go. Thomas Edison did this as well. And Salvador Dali would want to make the most exquisite paintings. I mean, you can imagine, if you can think of his paintings, you might think of a melted stopwatch that goes over the edge of a countertop. How in the world did that come to him? Well, basically, he had the equivalent of a paintbrush in hand or a bracelet in hand, and he would allow himself to go to sleep. Thomas Edison did this with, I believe it was his set of keys and a bowl beneath him. And he'd be sitting before his painting. This is going back to Dali. And he'd be holding like a spoon in front of him. He used a spoon and Edison used keys. And he'd allow himself to paint and then get tired and stop, almost fall. And as whatever was in his hand, as he fell asleep and dropped that, he'd wake himself back up from a dream, from the hypnagogic state, and he would start to draw down exactly what he saw. And what he was doing was reaching into the imaginal realm and pulling ideas back into this current reality. Well, guess what? It's a two-way door. Not only can you pull ideas out of the imaginal realm and bring them into this reality, but you can plant your ideas in the imaginal realm as well. I'm sure you've heard me say, it's one of my favorite expressions. It's a Hermetic expression. It's also in the Bible. As above, so below. What does that mean? It means that we live in a reflective pool. The pool is reflecting what's going on up above, if you call it 3D, inside, if you call it 5D, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's saying that you are first creating in a field of energy, in a state of energy. And that when you couple that state to your emotions, you can't help but manifest it in this reality. But it always takes place there first. You couple to that state with emotion and you draw it into this world. You draw it in. What does that mean? It means it's already there. But you're like a fisherman, even though I'm a good vegan fisherman, and you've cast out the line, and now you're pulling in what already exists by vibrating in frequency, in attunement, in accord. You're vibrating in accord with what already is. You do that through the Napoleon Hill exercise. You do that through Neville Goddard and getting to that emotional state. And now you do it most powerfully, like Emile Coué, and we'll get there in a second, by doing it in the hypnagogic state. So why am I bringing up Emile Coué? Emile Coué is famous for a statement, which I'm confused in my mind's eye, which one is mine, my interpretation versus which one is exactly his. So forgive me, you can Google it afterwards and you can tell me which one it is. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. And I might have a slight tweak on it. Please forgive me for that. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Now, you go, well, that's an affirmation. That's nice, Michael. But how is that going to change my life? And if you say, every day in every way, things are getting better and better a million times, every day in every way, your life will be getting better and better, but it may take a while to get there. That's not what Emile Coué was about. What he was about was, he was about getting into that half-awake state twice a day before you go to bed and first thing in the morning. As he's half awake and going every day in every way, things are getting better and better, feeling it. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better and feeling it. Every day in every way. And suddenly he starts to see some ideas in his head because he's half awake. Things are getting better and better. He's about using this half awake state, this time of fantastical creation, to plant ideas, to plant seeds. Now, you could say he's just planting it in his psyche, because if you believe every day in every way things are going to get better and better, you are going to make decisions that reflect that, because our outer world is a reflection of what's going on in our inner world. Yes, there are unique circumstances. Yes, there is COVID right now. You didn't create COVID. Okay, we could get to the whole duality thing. We're not going to go there tonight. However, and when I say COVID, I mean the current circumstances that the world is in. The dream world that we create, but that's a whole issue that we're going to deal with on Tuesday night. We have the most amazing interview with Don Miguel Ruiz of the Four Agreements, who's going to be on Tuesday night, and we are going to talk about how you escape the matrix, how you escape the dream world that has been created and keeps you trapped. That's going to be a really cool interview. But with that said, we do on some level create our own reality. And we do it by being in the half here, half not here state. That's where we do it best. Which is why it's not every day in every way things are getting better and better. It's every day in every way things are getting better and better, said when I'm half asleep, or said when I'm doing automatic writing, or said when I'm really in a daydreamy state and almost slipping into and out of consciousness, which of course begets the question, which is consciousness and which is waking? What's the difference? For ourselves, I've been creating maps like this. And if you take one of my courses, you'll learn how to do in-depth mind mapping skills. And I am going through them with Jessica each and every evening right now. We're actually doing guided meditations together. And we're going to have a whole guided meditation program on YouTube coming up shortly. Kind of a membership thing on YouTube where we're going to give you manifestation, meditation after meditation after meditation. But the long and short of it is you can do this yourself. You make out your mind map. you get those states, just like I was talking about here. And you go to bed, you can put on some nice meditation music, preferably theta brain entrainment music. And you can go, I feel elated. I feel on top of the world. I imagine I've got $1 million additional dollars in for my business and I've reached 1 million more people. And I feel so incredibly peaceful. It's such a state of accomplishment. I'm so at ease. I feel renewed. And you do this, painting a story. Each time there's a reason the elders spoke in story. You do this each time, each night before you go to sleep. And you are literally in the Creator's seat, in God's seat, in essence, writing out your new future. Can you get where I'm going with this? I want you to take charge of your life. 2020 did everything to rip the steering wheel away from you. No mas, no more. My goal, elevate consciousness, raise people's vibration, shift humanity. Nothing simpler than that. Raise vibration, elevate consciousness, shift humanity. Raise vibration, elevate consciousness, shift humanity. We cannot shift as an individual and as a people if we are asleep at the wheel. We are asleep at the wheel when we're living other people's dreams, living other people's lives, and ruminating before we go to sleep over other people's nightmares. Stop it. I beg of you. Really? Because your nightmare is my nightmare is your nightmare. Meaning we're all in this together. Meaning, if we all wake up, if we all focus on our own inner happiness and joy and alignment, we raise everybody up. If we're all freaked out, and I admit we're running a business, things go up and down ourselves. We're not perfect. We're playing this game along with anybody else. But if you're continuously in that state of freak out, either your own freak out, or you watch a horror movie, or you watch a zombie movie, or you watch the news before you go to bed, and now you're ruminating on somebody else's worries, fears, and concerns. Yes, Michael, but I don't know what's going to happen, and I need to be informed. Be informed in the middle of the day. Don't be informed right before you go to bed, because that information, to be informed, what are you doing when you're informed? You are informing a state of consciousness. You are telling a state of consciousness how you wish to be. You are God, not the whole God, but you create. You create with your mind, with every single thought. And that thought coupled with an emotion is 10 times, 100 times more powerful. That's what comes out before you go to sleep. That's what comes up first thing in the morning. State coupled with emotion equals information that you're planting in what I call the pond of intention, where all things are possible. The pond of intention, the pond of possibility. Picture a giant, smooth pond. Picture taking the largest stone that you could and casting it in. Waves go out in all directions. Waves of creation. The question is, what stone do you wish to cast? Because if you cast a stone of fear and dread at the end of your day, first thing in the morning, that goes out. The ripples hit the edge of the pond and come right back to you. As above, so below, we are living in a reflective pond. And what comes back to you is fear and dread. If you go to bed every evening and you are in the state of this, very similar to the state of bliss. If you go to bed, I'll let you in on a secret. I sleep with this under my pillow now. It's got energy to it. The energy I've planted, I've impressed upon this. I've imprinted here. I have imprinted here. off camera, I've imprinted on Pookie as well, who's imprinted upon me. So it means it's very important. And do this as a team if you can. That's why we hold our group classes. Where you put your awareness in the hypnagogic state is where you live your life. If you go to bed unconsciously, you're living an unconscious life. If you go to bed consciously, sacredly, awake and aware, that is how you will live your life. Sacred, consciously, awake and aware, and in the driver's seat of creation. So that one thing, I've given you something from Napoleon Hill. I've given you something from Neville Goddard. I've given you something from Emile Coué. But if you take one thing away from this evening, it's what seeds do you wish to plant before you sleep? I worked in the fashion industry, I guess about 2 decades ago. Fashion garment embellishment, which means we took a blank shirt, we turned it into a polo or a Tommy or whoever else you can possibly think of. If they had any lettering or what they called embellishment on their garments, we would sew, we would embroider, I guess that is sewing, we would press on, we would heat on, we would do whatever to change the garment. One of the most popular tools that we used was a heat press. And so you would put the garment there, you would put on what looked like a simple little iron-on, and you would pull down on a lever to like 30, 40, maybe 80 PSI at several hundred degrees. You'd hear steam would come off, you'd push it up, and there would be something impressed on the garment, branded into the garment, you could say, made permanent into the garment. Well, here we are talking about impressing into the garment of your mind. What do we want to permanently impress into your consciousness? Is it, woohoo, we've got this? Is it a, oh my God, I'm so tired, it's been another day, I don't know how I'm going to take it anymore? Is it a, oh my God, I can't believe about the disease or the government or the Illuminati or the whatever? Is that what you want to impress, the cabal? Is that what you want to impress last thing at night? Or is it about, oh my God, I can't believe what the kids have done. I can't believe what you did. I can't believe what the governor, whomever did. I want you to take back your life. When you take back your life, you raise yourself up. You're a tuning fork. The higher your vibration, the higher the vibration of the person next to you. Which means I've got to watch it when I go down, and I go down as well because that can bring the Pookie down, aka Jessica Lee. Our energy affects everyone around us. You want to make the greatest gift, the greatest impact on the planet? Well, then shift your energy before you go to sleep and put it where you want to focus on. I have a magnet that I use for clearing work. It says something to the effect of, courage is not just the ability to try, but the ability at the end of the day to say, I will try again another day. True courage is going to bed and going, wow, this day was hard. This day taught me more than I cared to learn. But I'm still working on this. And I've got myself in that feeling state. I'm finding my life's direction. I can see what it feels like to feel renewed or to feel at ease or to see, let's see if I got here. I can see what it feels like to have my mountain home, or a lot of these are just text. I've got all these different emotions here. I want to see if I have a picture of future mountain home somewhere in here. Oh, I may have missed the page. Anyway, to feel what it feels like to be in my mountain home, to imagine the streams, to imagine the lakes, to imagine Jessica's going to look it up here for me, to feel this state of canoeing and kayaking to the wharf right by my home, to see the grass, to have Ruru have all the, I want to say chicks, and by chicks, I mean to her Ruru, our amazing, not pet rooster, he's our guide, to have all of the hens that he wants. And it feels so good. And it feels so alive. And to embed this state, to impress this state upon my heart before I sleep. Here's the coolest thing. Life is about synchronicity. Life is about magic. You're magical. You are a creator. I know there's another image, but I don't see it there either. Unless it is in your mind map book. Maybe we drew it that one in there. We get to draw another one. How does it get any better than this? We're the creators of our lives. When we plant these dreams, when we cast the biggest stone of attention or awareness into the pond of intention each evening, we don't know how things come about, but funny things begin to happen. It's wild. I've been saying I want somebody who specializes in marketing to come to us, marketing. And we've looked and we've hired several people and we haven't found the right person until maybe recently. A series of synchronicities took place where we met somebody who was visiting next door just a couple days ago, who my guess is will be the next magical team member. Why were they staying next door? Why were they visiting there? I have no idea how this came about. But in envisioning my dream team before I go to sleep and giving thanks and feeling that state of having that team member, we've just drawn her in. Everything in life is about synchronicity and coincidence. What you think is just happenstance is anything but. There's now a whole science behind this. And all started with Carl Jung of more than 100 years ago. When you bump into somebody, when you get an idea, when something pops into your head. This morning, I had a flood of ideas pop into my head for this whole new YouTube program that we're going to make. Not program as in a weekly program, but this whole meditation program that we're going to create. Actually, meditation, self-hypnosis, lots of cool stuff, EFT, tapping, clearing work, all of this came flooding to me this morning. It's something we planted seeds on weeks ago, but I've been putting myself in that state at night. And in the morning, I go into my automatic writing, and all of the stuff that I had been pumping into consciousness before I sleep came back to me. So when you get yourself in this state in the evening, get ready. Ideas are going to pop. Energy is going to flow. People are going to bump into you. Your job is to take note and take notice. When an idea comes to you, don't poo-poo it. Write it down immediately and go, wow, thank you. Isn't that interesting? When you run into somebody, almost interrogate them out of love. Why are you here? Why did you come into my life? What can we learn from this? What can you gain from us meeting each other? Because there are no coincidences, but you can increase the chance of this happening by what you plant each night. So I want to open it up to questions now. Before I do that, again, get our automatic writing book. You will love it. Oh my God, it is the thing that I've made that I am most proud of in life right now. And we've made some amazing books and made some amazing programs, but this book is the thing I'm most proud of. And it's a complete and total life changer. And that will help you play in this hypnagogic state, will help you be the creator. Neville Goddard said it. Mind is God. Mind is creator. Napoleon Hill would say mind is creator. Emile QA would say mind is creator. So we're training you and teaching you how to use your mind as creator. So it's called AWE, Automatic Writing Experience. You can also get the Automatic Writing Experience, the video-based program, and begin learning it tonight at automaticwriting.com. And we have our next live class where we're going to be teaching you, taking you through this step by step a week from Thursday. And again, that's at automaticwriting.com. You can get signed up for that. And so now let's open it up to some questions. I want to see what kind of fun questions are on people's minds. And I know Jessica has been typing them. A big thank you to Jessica, by the way. I don't know how she does it, but she is, I guess, my EA who is moving on to, we'll say, bigger and better things right now. And we send you lots of love. She calls herself an octopus. I would say Jessica is the ultimate octopus during these things, being able to control, to do multiple conversations at the same time, to be able to get me pens, see what's going on, get me questions. I don't know how you do all of it. And you have the most amazing haircut.
Your former EA.
My former EA.
You have a new EA.
I have a new EA. So I absolutely love my former EA. And I absolutely love my new EA, who is here tonight. Allison, we love you. We love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Who what would you say? Octopus in training? All right. So let's see what questions we have here. Am I in the right place?
Want me to read the questions?
I would love it. If you wouldn't mind reading the questions, I would be honored.
Okay. I don't need to be in the camera, but I don't want to have my face half chopped off. So I'm either on or I'm not, but I can't tell.
All right. I think you're stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. Would you mind if I put you on camera?
That's fine, but can we...
I'm going to angle the camera then.
Oh, okay.
So here we are. We're going to angle the camera. Okay, goofy, but I'm over the top.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
From I am Wendy with an I.
Okay.
I love this. Is it still powerful to affirm these things before you actually feel the emotions? I've heard saying the positive can help create the confidence in it.
Absolutely. And the best example that I can give is myself. Oh gosh. I'm like, do I really want to share this experience? You may have heard me said this before, but years ago, I was trying to go from a place of, all right, how do I put this? I grew up with ADD, the label of ADD, because it's just different mind. Nobody's better, nobody's worse. It's just our minds are our minds, and they're beautiful and they're amazing. We all have incredible talents. But I was told, you're a loser, you're a screw up, you'll never amount to anything, you can't get anything right, why don't you pay attention? And on it went. And I went to grad school after I'd become a professional athlete and I got injured and I went back to grad school and I got 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees, and started writing the most amazing book. But the inner demons started to come up inside of me after I graduated. And they said, in the words of a little Asian girl who we saw laughing at us when we had, almost capsized a boat many years ago. She said, "See you later, sucker," or suckers. And that's what, right?
It was really funny. It was like an 8-year-old. And you just wouldn't have ever expected to hear that on the river.
No. See you later, suckers. And really, after I graduated, that's what my ego was saying to me. It was saying, "What have you done for me now, sucker?" And I had a real low spot after graduate school where this is where I get stopped cold. I said, "You're a loser, You're a failure and you deserve to die. That was where my ego was at. I think my ego put together all of these concepts from everybody, maybe well-meaning individual who told me what a screw up and a loser I was, that even though I had blasted through these barriers to success on some level, my ego would have none of it and wanted to put me in my place. And after I tried to roll a car, moment's notice, not planned in advance, I just melted down. I had lots of blood sugar issues. And I melted down and tried to roll a car. Thank you, BMW ABS. Thank you, Angels. I watched a Wayne Dyer special, or Wayne Dyer PBS thing. And he was selling the whole enchilada, all of his books and programs and stuff. And he said, if you believe in God or believe in a higher power, if you believe in an omniscient being, if you believe in something greater than yourself, then you have to realize that that power does not make mistakes. And if that power does not make mistakes, then you are not a mistake. And something triggered in me that said, wait a second, if something created me, then I'm not a mistake. I'm meant to be here. I'm not supposed to die. Okay. Well, how do I actually change my life? Well, I need to start treating myself with some dignity, with some respect. I need to get to a place of self-love. This is a long-winded answer. Please forgive me, but thanks for bearing with me. And so I wanted to get to a state of loving myself. However, the first time I started saying, I love myself, I lost my stuff. And I tore my, well, I like to say I redecorated my bathroom. I lost it cold. And I had to then sneak into that statement of I love myself very, very gingerly. But first came the word. I'm sure you've heard that before. In the beginning, there was the word. And then came the emotion. I love myself. No, you don't. Okay, I'm going to keep at it. I like myself. Yeah, okay. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. All right. In the hypnagogic state, I had to go to thank you first. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my body. Thank you for my health. Then I went to I like myself. Then I went to I love myself. So if you don't believe it, you can either go fully there if you don't get a visceral response and redecorate a bathroom, or go to what you can almost possibly believe. So if, for instance, you want to make $1 million and you know you want to make it for the freedom, for the ease, for the this, for the that, and when you say that, your ego slaps you upside the head. Start with, I'd like $100,000, or I'd like $10,000, or I can imagine $100 extra showing up this month. I can imagine $1,000 extra. I can imagine $10,000 extra. I can imagine $100,000 extra. I have clients I've worked with. I can imagine $1 million extra, and on it goes. Go for the word first and let the emotions fill in that gap. But dare to dream and play. So at night you go to bed and you're trying to envision the $1 million extra. What do you like to do as a kid? I like to travel. I like to go to the beach. Put yourself in that feeling state. Couple that state of happiness and joy. Couple that state to the goal you're looking for. Find some emotion to go with it, but keep saying what you want. All right, next beautiful question.
Okay. Our next question is from Ari.
Yeah.
How can I help my spouse stop saying they're going to be broke all their life?
Ari, this is a challenging one. Because unless you signed up for a relationship where you said, I want you to point out my weaknesses, which somehow, some way I did with Jessica, and oh boy, does she give it to me. It's very hard to change the other person on a conscious level unless they want it. And if you shove it down their throats, you're not going to like what you get in return. So Ari, first off, lead by example. Watch your words, watch your language, which you may already do, but watch your judgment as well. Just because he's not doing what you want, do not judge him for it. This is honey versus vinegar. You want to catch him doing something right, Ari, and reward him for that. No, you
Or
can.
her.
Thank you. Now, no, it's true. It's true. And I feel like saying that the pronoun them or it as well for everybody, whatever. We love you. They, thank you. Thank you. But with that said, Ari, lead by example, honey over vinegar, and then you can do subtle things. See if he, she, it, they wants to attend an event with you, or an online event, or watch a movie with you, or read a book with you, or do an exercise with you, or make it a loving time together. Hey, if we can, brainstorm on how we can change our state. I heard these cool things and talk about how we can attract in money. Would you mind if we swap massages while doing so? Make it really cool. Make it fun. But the concept of how can I change somebody is what you resist persists. That's like, how can I push against a wall and have the wall suddenly turn into a door? And it doesn't. All that happens is we get very tired, fatigued, or sore. Beautiful question, Ari. Beautiful, beautiful. You can do this. Work on here, 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 with all judgment and all love first.
I was just thinking, you often point out, instead of me pointing out something that I would like you to change, why don't I point out when you've done it? Like pointing out the positive in the other person. So positive reinforcement.
I feel at the end of the day, we're all puppy dogs. And when you say bad dog to a puppy enough, the dog has lost all will. The dog is off sulking in a corner. The dog is not going and trying to please you. The dog has given up. If instead, good dog, you got it. You did it right. The dog's like, yeah, I got this. Ruru is the most amazing rooster. He's becoming more puppy-like every day. And it is happening by reward. In fact, one thing I have learned about a rooster is a rooster likes to butt heads with other roosters. There is no way to win against a rooster going head to head. If Ruru does something that I don't like, I scoop him up and I give him all the love in the world. And then I catch him doing something well and I give him treats for it. And he goes, oh, do more of that. That goes for human puppies, beings, roosters, hens as well.
Our next question is from Amanda. Mm-hmm. How do you believe or trust? How do you blindly believe or trust when you want to manifest love?
Ooh. I'm going to recommend, Amanda, that we do some healing work. You can check out EFT tapping is a great place to start. There are wounds and blocks. So I operate when I do coaching. I'm intuitive. I'm tapped in. I'm speaking with the guides. I'm not a professional medium or channel, but it's there. Amanda, we get to work on wounds and blocks inside of you to help heal this wound on love and clear these walls and blocks to love. Because Amanda, you came from love. You are love. You couldn't be anything other than love. But I know you've been hurt very, very, very badly. And you fight back at the concept of love because it's so scary, it's so dangerous, it's so painful. And so that is where I would begin. But I would also look for the honey over the vinegar. Look for how this can be a loving universe. If nothing else works, get yourself a rose and do a meditation and just stare at the beauty of a rose. You could ask yourself, what could create something so beautiful? Because love is the fabric of all that is. You don't have to trust in love. You don't have to believe in love. Love is everything. And you don't even have to believe that. but we do get to work on the wounds and blocks, of which, while I'm saying it to you, I have had to do, I'm going to call it officially, gazunga work on this myself.
Our next question is from Rodriguez.
Yep.
I am a survivor of trauma-based mind control. I want to know how can I get over the trauma?
There is a process, Rodriguez. So EFT tapping is one great way to go to. Shamanic journeying is another. Emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson is a phenomenal one. If it is affecting you physically, body code by Dr. Bradley Nelson is another one. I do clearing work in our master classes where we work on this, but you probably want one-on-one attention, like coaching from me or going to an emotion code practitioner or going to one of these other practitioners and working with them specifically on your traumas, on your wounds. But let's bring it back to what we're talking about. And Amanda, let's bring this back to what we're talking about. And I want to send you all the love in the world, Amanda, as well, Rodriguez and Amanda. If you make these goals, what you're telling me here today, to be your oxygen, to be your single-minded purpose, to be your definite chief aim each and every day, you will find your way over, around, above, under, or through these blocks to the other side. That can be your goal. So I've got down here either find life direction or $1 million+. It can be to heal from these wounds, to heal from these traumas, to find love again. That can be what it is. That is one awesome goal, to wake each day and go, I have been so hurt. I don't know if I can heal from this, but I'm going to do what I can. Or I have not found love or felt love in so long. I don't know if it's out there, but I'm going to do what I can. If you start each day with that, you will heal and you will find it. That was really... Did it just open itself?
Yeah.
The wash.
Supposed to do that.
I've never seen that before. So I finished that statement, and the washing machine sang a little ditty and opened up. I've got to take that as some positive confirmation from the universe.
Dishwasher.
It is a very happy dishwasher.
They're
I keep pointing it back to you to see if there are more questions.
Then I look like...
Oh, well, let's fix that. How's that?
That's better.
I'm like, we're having a little microphone war here.
Like, no.
Yes.
I think that's the last question, but Edward Katie pointed out that this is the last live stream of the year.
Wow, good point. So if you want the last question in of the year, how's that? You better get your question in now, because when the questions stop, so do we. Going to Edward then. Is there anything, I'm not putting you on the spot, you don't have to say anything, but anything. All right. We're working past this winter block. Is there something incredibly unpithy and without wisdom filled that you would want to share with people for the end of the year?
Can I share a regret?
Certainly.
Okay, no, it's not a regret. Let me rephrase that.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
An opportunity.
In disguise.
We've done what, like over 30 of these YouTube live streams? No, it has to be more than that, because we used to do 2 a week when we were still nuts, and we're still nuts.
We've done hundreds of these
this year.
Oh,
I'm talking about 2020.
Well, if we did 1 a week, that'd be 50.
I know, but we did 2 in the beginning of the year, and even more during
COVID.
So it's still COVID, but the point is, you would think that by now, after 12 months of this, and we started before this year, I'd have the wherewithal to stop him after he comes out of the bathroom and to fix his hair before he goes on air.
What are you trying to say?
So I don't usually do New Year's resolutions, right? I usually do New Year's themes. Because I don't know. I think the theme is fun. This year's theme you shared earlier is GoPro, right?
Yes.
Or up level. So
meaning for 2021.
If I was to do one specific New Year's resolution, it would be to save his hair before he goes on air. It is my responsibility partially because I do cut it. So
I believe to make this come true, first off, we need to get it down on here so that it can be an SMP. And I need to go on Amazon or to my local social distance store, and I need to buy an organic product that will actually keep it in position, because the product that I use is aloe gel, which worked in Colorado, which was not as much of a desert as it is here.
I thought Colorado was dry.
Colorado is like 30% humidity. This place is like minus 30%. It's just a vacuum of moisture. Okay, there's no such thing as minus 30, but you get it. So I need something, but I will take that assistance.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll watch some YouTube videos. Okay, I think there was a serious question in here.
I think there were multiple ones.
Louise asked, we are all going to be all right in the new year, right?
So my opinion on this, Louise, is we are going to be better than all right. I believe we rounded a big corner. And whether it's an astrologist, whether it's a medium, whether it's whomever saying that this certainly hasn't ended, all right. I believe we're in a time of transition, but we've had a year to grow a little bit more flexible with this, a little bit more resilient. And so in 2021, though challenges will inevitably come, I believe we're able to roll with them better and we're less rigid. So in 2020, we entered it as mighty oak. And a mighty oak is great for growing strong and tall and giving us acorns. It's not so good with a hurricane. But now we've been through a bunch of hurricanes and we've been bent to and fro. And I believe we've been bent from the mighty oak to a giant palm tree. And a palm tree sways with the breeze. And a palm tree is able to survive hurricane force winds because it's not nearly as rigid. And so I see us going from our oakedness to our palm treeedness in the new year, with coconuts, with fruit, with whatever, with a greater abundance in the new year. So I see incredible positive possibility, punctuated by some challenges, but with us each more capable and confident to get through it. The biggest thing, Louise, is to go into 2021 conscious. Replay this, go to our other videos, go to your favorite books, get the automatic writing book, whatever it is for you, but go consciously awake and aware so that when stuff happens, you recognize it for what it is. That's why we've got Don Miguel Ruiz coming on Tuesday to help wake everybody up, talking about how we can escape the matrix or escape this fake world that's been forced upon us. This isn't negative, positive. But we're all actors stuck in this world and how to play on our own greatest stage. So that's Don Miguel's show. Click the subscribe button, you get the bell icon, click the bell icon, you'll be notified for that show and you'll get the link to that show. But as we are awake and aware, we will rise above our matrix, we will rise above our performance, and we'll create something new for 2021. That's why our goal for 2021, our SMP, is not a happier year, a better year, although it certainly is. It's a year or a survive 2021. It's a year of how can we make this an up-leveled year in every single way in our lives because we are so incredibly bullish for it. That was a big answer.
Yeah, are you ready for a not so big answer?
If that wasn't a hint.
All right.
All right, my love.
From Sarah. I am chronically ill with an incurable illness. Can I manifest my health back? Maybe this does need a big answer.
So, Sarah, first off, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love. So, Sarah, I have seen miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. So I am somebody who would take a kitchen sink approach to an incurable disease, and I would leave no stone unturned, as much as you have the energy to do so. And I would certainly look out of, not that mainstream medicine is not beneficial. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for mainstream medicine. My legs, hips, I just wouldn't be alive, literally. So there's a time and a place for it. But I would broaden my horizon. I would ask new questions. And I would certainly not say I like that you put it in quotes, an incurable disease. You've been labeled as that, but certainly you're not the disease. And maybe you do, maybe you don't. So I would turn over every rock. And at the same time, I would use this as an opportunity, Sarah, to do as much inner work as you can. So if you have to live with this, that's okay. You're learning, you're growing. And I'm not making light of this. I've spent the equivalent of years either bedridden or in a wheelchair. I'm not making light of this at all. I've been through, I think, 17 operations. So I'm not making light of this. But either I will learn and grow from this experience, or I will be rocking it so much that when I transition, I am going to have a blast on the other side. And at the same time, what can I do here and now? What can I do for myself? Or if I'm told and I believe that nothing can be done about this, then even if I only have 5 minutes worth of energy in a day, what can I do to help others during this time? So that when you're taking your final breath, you go, man, was I dealt a challenging set of cards, but I rocked it and did the most I could with it. We are all given challenging cards. Yours a lot more challenging than many of ours, probably myself included. See what you can do to make the most of it with the cards you're dealt. This, to me, is a holographic game. On one level, it's incredibly serious. On one level, it's incredibly painful. But again, pain may be required, suffering completely optional. It's what we make of it. It is the meaning that we ascribe to it. If you are trying to lift an incredibly heavy object and it is the most painful experience in the world, you can suffer massively. If you are trying to lift an incredibly heavy object because your child is pinned beneath it, you feel no suffering at all. It is all the meaning we ascribe to it. If you walk a crack across a tile floor and you go from one end to the other, you put one foot in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, no big deal. If all of a sudden it's that same balance beam of a step, but 100 feet high, you may be scared out of your mind. We have ascribed different meaning to it. So let's ascribe a meaning of this life, Sarah, as a game and say, all right, here's the cards I've got. First off, I'm going to do everything I can to win this game, to get healthy. But at the same time, I'm going to be working on the other side of things. What can I do with the time I do have, with the minutes a day that I do have energy for whatever time I have, to do the most that I can with the cards I've been dealt? And that goes for each of us here. This is not our only life. This is not our only world. And even or especially if it is, rock it, play it seriously. Play seriously with everything that you've got. Life is too serious to be taken seriously. Lots and lots of love, Sarah. Lots and lots and lots of love.
We've got a couple more questions. How long do you want to go?
I'm going to go, since it's the last one, even though I say 7 is the new 8, so it's manifestation bedtime soon. But I'll go as long as these questions last within reason.
Okay. Within reason.
What is reason? As soon as all of a sudden we start to wilt, that is when reason has passed.
Okay. From Allison. Do synchronicities only show up when you are in alignment with yourself or universe?
No. It's a beautiful, beautiful question, Allison. I think the synchronicities are always there, always trying to wake us up, always trying to point things out. That's why sometimes numbers 444, 111, things appear to say, hey, you're in alignment. Other times they appear to wake us up. So synchronicities are wake-up calls from the universe. They're not just, when you're in alignment, they seem to come more and more. Now, whether they are coming more and more, and I believe they are, or whether it's just because you're more aware of them. So for instance, when we wanted a Tesla and we're starting to focus on it, all of a sudden we started to see Teslas everywhere. Same thing with Mini, started to see Minis everywhere. As your awakeness or your awareness goes up, you start to see the synchronicities more and more. However, they are always there presenting themselves to go, hello, anybody home? That person wasn't staying in the house next to you for just a couple days by accident. We didn't run into you, Allison, by accident. All of this happened on purpose, on path. Now, does this mean that we want to pay careful attention to everything? Yeah, absolutely. Each morning, I write out my dreams and then I do a dream interpretation. I do a lot of dream interpretation work for my clients as well, because we are given messages while we sleep. But I don't have to put pressure on myself to remember these things. I don't have to put pressure on myself to look for the signs and symbols and synchronicities. The important stuff will always double back around. And you can always ask the angels, ask the guides, ask the universe, hey, I think that may have been important for me. Can you tell me why that happened? Why did that occur? But we do, Allison, as you know very, very well, we live in a magical universe. And that magic is always around us, whether we believe in it or not. But once we do believe in the magic, we start to see it even more, and we start to play with that magic and ask for the signs and ask for the symbols and ask for the synchronicities. Before we moved to Colorado, we literally prayed to the wind for signs and symbols, and then I was cut off by a horse trailer truck living on Emerald Isle, North Carolina, and there are no horses on the island, and the house we were looking to move to in Colorado was surrounded by horses. Beautiful question, Allison.
Our next question is from Callie. How do you two deal with nostalgic emotions involving things and people you've left behind that were holding you back from your highest good?
Ooh, that's kind of a loaded question. Well, can you mind if I see that again? There was an incredible wording in there, because it was like a double take. Deal with nostalgic emotions involving things or people you left behind that were holding you back. So this is like a riddle with an enigma tripped up inside a question. Nostalgic emotions are usually positive emotions. Oh, I miss this person. I miss that event. I missed it so much. And then we place judgment on it. But they were holding me back. But they weren't allowing me to be happy. But they weren't. All of this is meaning that we are ascribing on something that just was. In fact, not only was it just was, it was a beautiful part of your path to help you become exactly who you are. So the word that comes to mind is gratitude. Gratitude. Okay, that business didn't work out. It imploded. Perfect. Thank you. Let's not do that or have that experience again, but that's awesome. Oh, there's the girl in my life that I never got to date and dated somebody else. Perfect. Thank you. That's awesome. There was this person in my life who abused me and hurt me really badly. That's perfect. Thank you, universe. You don't have to thank that person. Thank you, universe, for this experience, for making me even stronger. Then switch the channel. If you harbor ill will or emotion of this sort, write it out, shred it, and be done with it. Or do EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, or one of the other many techniques to free yourself of the manacles. So the last note that I have is, because it was interesting that you chose the word nostalgia, because there's so many other words that you could have used for the judgment of somebody holding me back. But feeling ill will toward anybody in the past is really a poison you drink twice. You give them the poison, but you take it back to yourself. So if you harbor any ill will to somebody holding you back, realize they did not hold you back. They were your guide. They were your teacher. They were your slingshot pulling you back to instead shoot you free, and give thanks and love even for that. How we doing?
We got more questions.
Holy smokes.
And I had typed my answer to that question in the chat room. From M. What would you tell my 15-year-old daughter who has ADHD aspects and depressive states with low motivation?
Ooh, can you hold that on for 1 second?
Yeah.
What would you tell my 15-year-old daughter who has ADHD aspects and depressive states with low motivation? All right. So, in a past life, I wrote the book College Confidence with ADHD. And that was, or they called it at the time ADD. That was to help students and young adults with ADD. Here's the deal. Girls tend, as a general rule, to internalize ADD. Guys tend to externalize it. Girls tend to turn inward and tear themselves apart, thinking there's something wrong with me, there's something different, I'm broken, I'm unfixable. Guys tend to break shit. That's a gross exaggeration. But girls have been taught to stuff things down. Not that they can't cry, but they're not told that you're capable, that you can do things, that you can build things, that you can achieve things. This is such a gross, please forgive me, Burner. This is such a gross exaggeration. But ADHD typically, because of the way girls are taught and the way guys are taught, show themselves differently. Girls will get depressed. Guys will get in criminal trouble, quite frankly. What do? One, Burner. We protect the relationship between you and your daughter above and beyond all else. I know she's 15. You get to do everything and anything you can to rebuild and reestablish that relationship. A. B. You get to find something, anything that lights her up. I don't care if it's school, if it's not school. I don't care if she even wanted to almost quit school. I need her to do something that makes her feel good about herself. And you help her do that with every ounce of energy and strength that she has got. Then, if she's up for it, you get clearing work on her. Heck, you can find practitioners that can meddle on the other side without fully needing her permission because she's under 18. But you do energetic clearing work on her because she has a cloud hanging over her, and we get to clear that cloud. Now, the chances are, Burner, this did not start with her. It's with you as well, and it goes back into your family lineage. And so I would recommend working with an energetic healer on that to clear layers off of you, to clear layers off your ancestors, to clear layers off of her. But protect that relationship with everything that you've got and help boost her esteem and happiness by finding anything that she likes to do. And support her with that, with every ounce of energy that you've got. And if you need, and especially, recruit assistance. An ADHD mind to me is what I call, and an ADD mind is a hyper creative mind. I could say it's even better, but we will say it is equal to anybody else's mind, just with its own unique gifts. And you love that girl up, Burner, like there truly is no tomorrow, with everything that you've got.
I had a couple of thoughts.
Go for it.
Because when I was 15, I was really depressed. 15, 16, going into 17 a little bit. And the reason I was depressed was because I didn't get the point at anything I was doing. I was studying super hard, getting decent grades. I didn't actually get straight A's, but that also depressed me because I wasn't getting straight A's. But at the same point, I was like, why?
There was no win with you, was there?
Well, I knew that good grades would get me into a good college, and a good college would get me a good job. But I would play that scenario out, and I was still like, why? What is the point? I get a good job, I make lots of money. Why? So I can live my parents' life and have kids. Why? So I don't know if this is the case for your daughter, but perhaps she needs to discover her why. Why is she here? Maybe some sort of volunteer work would light her up so that she feels like she's contributing in some way to, maybe it's to animals, maybe it's to the earth, maybe it's to other people. Animals usually work with a lot of kids.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I couldn't agree more. And kids today, more than ever, are saying, I don't get it. Why would I want to live your way? Why would I want to go that path through life? And so the more you can help her and potentially help her by helping her to help others, the more she'll light up.
Okay, we had another question.
All right.
From RRT66. How would you say that?
To 66.
How would you allocate your limited AM time? 45 minutes solid meditation or 20-minute meditation / 20-minute automatic writing?
2020. If you want to see more clearly, that's a brilliant question. RT66. I would spend 20 minutes diving into the silence, and I would spend 20 minutes allowing the universe to guide me. We have experienced both sides of things, being very heavy meditators without doing automatic writing and doing all automatic writing. And we would take more of a chop wood, carry water philosophy, that we need that guidance from the universe, or else our fear-based minds will take over. And even if we're blissful and silent during our meditation, we will have no idea where to go with our lives. Going back to M. Berner, if she's game for it, teach your automatic writing.
She might be at the stage where she doesn't really want to learn anything from her parents.
I get it.
So maybe you should teach her.
Wait a second. That is the coaching that I did for years.
Oh,
it was part of my path.
R stands for Roadrunner Route 66.
Well, there are roadrunners all around us, and we live right by Route 66, so we could be by Joshua Tree. We have a roadrunner. Who's the roadrunner that visits us every day?
Oh, our roadrunner is named Oats. Even though he prefers kitty leftovers over oatmeal. I don't know how you would name him after kitty leftovers. Okay. There was another question, so I'm going out of order here. Victoria asked, any plans to have Michael Lennox with his astrology predictions for 2021?
Victoria, this is a synchronicity, and you just read my mind because I was thinking of mentioning that, and I was looking at what time we're going to bed tonight, because tomorrow morning I have a Dr. Michael Lennox interview with astrological predictions for the new year. So stay tuned. That will be out, I believe, on YouTube this Thursday evening. Again, click subscribe and the bell icon. You'll be notified when Dr. Michael Lennox's show goes live. It'll be a premiere. He'll be at the event. And a beautiful synchronicity, because I had been hoping to mention that as well.
Low JC was asking, I was wondering if you and Michael have heard of human design. What are your thoughts?
Yes, we have. In fact, we had the creator, I don't recall his name now, of human design.
What was he the creator?
I believe he may have had a teacher, and then he took what he learned from his teacher and he created the official human design, if I understand that right.
I mean, I know they were like high level.
The human designers.
I was really amazed.
What did you learn from that?
Well, I remember the one thing that stuck out in my mind, because it had to do with my biggest issue, which is speaking up. They said that I had a lot of wisdom to share, but that there was like some sort of block in the chart here, and that you would help me verbalize what I had to share.
How's that working?
It sounds like a cop-out, right? But I didn't say it. They said it.
It was really cool. They looked at the human design charts and put the two of us together, and they nailed it to a T, our relationship at the time. I think we've changed since then.
No, I mean, if you were in my life, I wouldn't be sitting here with a mic in front of me. I don't think. Who knows? But it's not usually my cup of tea. Do you remember anything else that you want to share?
No, I just remember the chart, and I remember how much they nailed it. Might be cool to revisit.
Yeah. Okay. What archetypes are you both? Michael was like some golden child of.
I don't remember.
He had like, I feel like there was like some special. I might be getting confused with an astrological chart, but like you had like a triangle or something that like what you're doing now is what you were meant to do.
Mhm. I couldn't tell you.
Like a wayfarer for others.
That makes sense.
You're like a Moses on a mountaintop. Okay. Let's see. I thought there was another question in here.
And then after that, we'll wind things down here.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'm starting to get hyped up and then I won't fall asleep.
No, you're going to use that hype upness for the work that we get to do. Because we do right now, I mean, we're alchemists. We're playing on the other side of the veil. So we're doing about, what would you say, 45 minutes of work in the evening. And then, I mean, we're doing a decent amount, at least that on the morning side as well, to create on the other side of the veil.
Callie asks, have you had Pim Van Lommel on your channel yet? No, we haven't.
Nope.
We'll look into him or her. Glenda asks, do you two know your life path numbers? I don't remember.
I don't remember mine as well.
For some reason, 3 pops into my head. You might be a 1. I don't know. You're just like so special.
I don't know where to go with that, but thank you.
I'm like a 3 or 4. Any messages did me? What? Don't know what that means. Pablo, how do you get in the flow?
Feeling state, Pablo. Go for the feeling state and go for the things that feel good to you. There is very little get into flow when something feels out of alignment. And when you get into flow, it's because you're doing something where you can lose all sense of time. Now, you can use meditation to get into flow. You can use automatic writing to get into flow. You can use music to get into flow. But at the end of the day, it has to be in alignment with who and what you are. And so if who and what you are is out of alignment with what you're doing, it will be very challenging to get into flow. Not a cop-out. It means slight tuning of the station. Now, if what you're doing is necessary, such as putting food on the table to be able to do what you love and gives you that flow state, then use all the tools you can to get into the most special sacred state that you can. But make sure you get into flow out of work, which will actually help you get more closely to it in work as well.
Okay, we've been going for over an hour and a half now.
So I think it's time. Kali said you've got to get this gentleman on about near-death experiences, and I do groove on talking about the NDEs for obvious reasons.
So there were some questions about when we go live. It's every Sunday at the same time. Well, usually 10 minutes earlier, which is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And our interviews premiere on Tuesdays and Thursdays, also at the same time, which is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time.
And she's looking at me as she is saying that because she has been training me and training our audience. And you can't tell what's going on. The nonverbal communication going on right now is what are you telling me?
Right, Michael? This is the way it's going to be, right?
Exactly. And so I'm getting the dee-dee-dee, which is saying, Michael, we need to keep this consistent, right?
Right.
Now, tonight we had actually a technical challenge where one of our computers said at one point 31 minutes till we start, and another said an hour and 31 minutes, and a notification goes out at 30 minutes. And so there was a little bit of scrambling behind the scenes, figuring out why YouTube was saying one thing on one computer and one thing in another. So we bought ourselves 10 minutes.
So if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.
Yes.
There's that red button that's somewhere right below the video. And there'll be a bell icon next to subscribe. Click that and you'll get a notification every time we go live or there's an interview premiere.
And of course, give us a big thumbs up, because the more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube shares this video. We'd love it if you share it as well. The more people can find it, because it'll put it in the suggested videos. And the more people find it, the more that we shift consciousness as individuals and as a planet, because hopefully you're feeling happier after this. And if you are, then somebody else is, and somebody else watches this, then somebody else will. And we can do a little good here tonight.
So do you have any last words of wisdom?
Last words of wisdom for the year. Go into 2021 in a place of play and a place of intention. I want you to play the highest level, most fun game that you can for 2021. Don't make it serious unless it's seriously about fun. This does not mean that you're going to be neglecting friends, family, whatever. It actually means that you are going to get in alignment. See, we've got this all wrong. Buckle down, get serious, stop playing around. No, actually, buckle down, get serious, do play around. Because the play, the thing that that tugs on your heartstrings the most, that comes from spirit, that comes from God, that comes from universe, that comes from guide, that comes from everything that is. That's what you came here with. When you follow that pull, that tug on your heart, that playfulness, that lights you up, that is your life path. So I want you to focus on that for 2021, and get as serious as you can about figuring out what feels good, and then intentionally going after that with everything that you've got. I can hear somebody telling me, it was Allison telling me earlier today, saying, when you get tired enough that you're not going to take it anymore, you say, I'm not going to take it, and I will do whatever it takes. Well, to me, 2021 is the year of doing whatever it takes to shift your life to where you want it. Doesn't mean anything's wrong, doesn't mean anything's broken. I will say that things are slightly out of tune. We can all use a tune up or getting tuned in more, but focus on that feeling and go after it with every breath of oxygen that you've got. Jessica Lee.
Well, I already shared my non-pithy words.
Okay. A last question for you.
Uh-oh.
Thoughts for the fur babies and the feather babies for the new year?
Harmony. Because we spoke with an animal communicator. Was it after the last live?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we spoke to an animal communicator about Ruru, the rescue rooster, and how we can better meet his needs, because we're pretty familiar with what kitties needs and what dogs needs. We don't have a dog now, but the rooster is just a whole new ball game, and he's very demanding and persistent and loud. And anyway, so we're on the phone with the animal communicator, and she's communicating with Ruru, but the kitties keep chiming in. Like all three of them. She can't even tell who's talking. And she says that they're saying things like, this isn't harmonious. This isn't how you reach enlightenment.
She said they speak kind of interestingly because oh, wow.
Yes, I know. We heard you. Wow.
Wow.
Yes, she understands English very well. This is love.
Should I angle the camera?
Yeah, sure. This is Lovebug, and I think it was Lovebug who was doing most of the talking.
I would agree with that.
They're not. Okay, if we suddenly end, it's because she's hit the off button.
Whee!
Are we still live?
I have no idea if we're still live or not.
I think we are.
You think we are?
And she's hit the play button on my computer.
Yep. What do you have to say, Lovebug?
She's saying, yes, that was me speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants more harmony. The animal communicator also said that the kitties would have no problem if they were able to climb on top of each other and reach the door handle and
let
open
Ruru
it
out.
and just ushered the rooster out of the house.
I think it's been a better week, though.
It has.
I think they found more harmony. Lovebug has been playing a lot more this week.
Yeah.
She's actually buzzed Ruru several times and enjoyed a little bit of the chase. She's doing his kind of a little hot rod game, catch me if you can. And Lumi has been out a lot more. And so I think we are finding, and Ruru has been much more at peace this week. I think he feels heard.
This morning, it came out of automatic writing, and I got this intuitive hit that I should thank Ruru for his presence and acknowledge everything that he does for us, because he's constantly on guard. Unless we put him into his roost for a nap, he's just like...
I laugh when she says roost, because the roost is in the Tesla.
Yeah. And normally hens, they'll like chill out, they'll rest during parts of the day, and they'll go to sleep when the sun sets. But the sun sets and we're still up and about. So Ruru is like, geez, like
I got to watch over you. And he knows his job. I mean, we could not tell him otherwise, is to continuously watch over us. And that's what he's doing. So if he's cockadoodle doing, a lot of times it'll be, where did you go?
Yeah.
Must keep an eye on everyone at once.
Yeah. So so this morning I walked out of the bedroom and I said, Ruru, thank you for taking care of us and looking after us. And I also said, we're very safe inside the house, so you don't have to worry, but thank you so much for all that you do. And I think he actually understood me.
It's definitely been a calmer day where I can almost not think of a conkadoodle-doo today that was not about, please help me meet a specific need.
Yeah, like, I'm hungry. More like, I'm hungry.
So he's a proud, if you haven't seen Ruru yet, we just had a most amazing episode with Dr. Dane here on bringing out your inner rooster. And it was a phenomenal interview on finding your voice, on finding happiness, what we call hacking happiness. And Dane required that I have Ruru in my arms just about all the interview. Toward the end, Ruru got really hungry. And so I put him down for a little bit. And then I think he came back in my arms. He started singing when he was out of my arms. Feed me.
Yeah, it was super cute. He was falling asleep in your arms a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we could go on and on, but it's almost bedtime for us.
I think so. Yes, we get to do our work now. We get to play into our new year. So love you guys so much. Be sure to click the bell icon or click subscribe, click the bell icon, thumbs up if you like this. Of course, leave your comments. Tuesday night, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Don Miguel Ruiz, phenomenal. That's the best way to describe it. Phenomenal interview by arguably the #1 self-help author in the world. He's had a book called The 4 Agreements that I think is #4, if not #5 on the self-help list of all books on Amazon that was written over 20 years ago. He is amazing with his wisdom and helping us understand who we truly are. And so he's going to talk to us about escaping the matrix on Tuesday. And then Thursday will be Dr. Michael Lennox talking with us about astrology for the new year. So very, very, very excited to hear what he has to say about that. I did have one last question that just popped into my consciousness. What's the tattoo that you thought you might want to get someday?
This one. Yeah, so I never thought I would get a tattoo. And then this t-shirt came in, and on the back there's a little phoenix. Can I see? Yep,
people, hold on, let me move the mic. Okay.
Yeah. And so I saw that little phoenix there and I was like, oh, that would actually look really cool tattooed there. So who knows?
Which is completely mind-blowing to me. Supportive, but mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even want my Chinese name etched into my back or whatever.
Just the term etched in. All right. Love you guys so much. We'll see you Tuesday. We'll see you Thursday. We will see you on our next YouTube live event, which will be in 2021. Let's go into this as playfully and as intentionally as we possibly can. Love you guys so much. You are love. You came from love. You couldn't be anything other than love, no matter how much you tried. And keep on shining bright. Woohoo!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us in 2020. Look forward to seeing you in 2021.
Yes, thank you for holding
Very
space in
exciting.
2020. We all get to kayak in 2021 together. Actually, that's got me thinking about retreats. Cool. Love you guys.
Happy New Year.